The Titanic Story by Joshua. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm telling you all about what I know about the Titanic. And if you don't know the Titanic, it was a famous ship. It was the biggest ship in 1912. Oh, you can't see that. Like nothing happened. And before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the bell to all. And if you already subscribed and turned on the bell, well done. But you have to like the videos. You can like the video as well if you want more education videos. And yeah, like the video anyway. If you okay, this is how it works. You have to like the video if you want more education video, and you like the video for no reason. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's get started with the presentation. Right, these are the questions I will put in my presentation. When was the Titanic built? How long did it take to make the Titanic? Who came up with the idea of making the Titanic? Where was the voyage begin? And where was it sailing to? Well, where was it planned to sailing to because it sank? How many people were on board the ship? Did anyone miss the ship when it was at dock? How much were first class tickets in today's money? How much are second class tickets in today's money? How much are third class tickets in today's money? How long was the ship at dock? That I've actually not put the answer. I put the timing, but I haven't put the days. The time it was there. What time did the ship leave dock? What time did the ship arrive at dock? How long was the ship in meters? What was the captain's name? Who saved the Titanic? Who was the ship that saved the Titanic? And where is the shipwreck? Where did the main voyage begin? The sail from Belfast with all the crew and Captain Edward John Smith. The 3rd of April 1912, Titanic arrived in Southampton. 10th of April 1912, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. people boarded the ship. Passengers arrived in Southampton and began boarding the humongous ship. The ship's collision killed 1,317 people. 324 in first class, 284 in second class, and 709 in third class, and 900 crew members. That's a lot of crew members who died, and a lot of third class people. And this is what if you didn't know, this is how it was organized. So the third class people at the bottom, then the second were on the top, then the first, and that's how it was. And the first, the rules were that the first class people had to come out first, then the second, then the third, and the third hadn't have that much time. And there were actually a lot of people in third class because third class tickets, I will say the price later, were like kind of expensive, but first were like thousands and thousands of pounds. Okay, there were 2,240 passengers on board the ship. They left dock at 11:30 a.m. Some crew were drinking at the pub and they forgot about the ship leaving until they realised. Only 2 of them got onto the ship, but 8 to 9 missed the ship. Nora Collinger, sorry if I'm not saying the name right, and Annie Jordan had tickets to board the Titanic but did not. That's a good choice, well done. It depends if you bought first class because you just wasted £1,000, but at least you didn't get in a situation like you didn't freeze to death and you didn't die. So well done, Nora Callingham and Annie Jordan. Hey, why did you scrunch it up? What are you doing? I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, guys, this is my presentation. So it says this, and then this is a video. Ha! trick to you. It's actually some facts. So this is all the timeline how the Titanic sank. At 11:40 p.m. 11:39 to 11:40 p.m. Frederick Fleet first spotted the iceberg and rang the nest bell 3 times to warn the bridge of something ahead. All the engines were ordered to stop and reverse and hard to port. The ship was going 23 to 24 knots. They were going very fast. And as you know, if you didn't know, 23 to 24 knots is in like 23 miles per hour. They just add knots at the end. Like something like that. It's like somewhere around. It's always in the same. So if it's in 23 knots, it's always in the 20s. And even though they weren't going that fast, and say it's easy, you just reverse the ship. That's what they did. But as you know, on water, you glide, like because of the current moves you. Like on waves, like you've been on. I don't think you've been on surfing, but like surfing, it pulls you along. So that's why the Titanic couldn't stop in time. Okay. I will only say the date once until it changes. April 14th, 1912, 9:20 p.m. Captain Smith retires to his room. 9:40 p.m. The last several warnings about Titanic. The last several warnings about icebergs is received in the wireless room. The warning never makes it to the bridge. That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? And they didn't have that sensor that I don't know what it's called again. Like that green thing, and then it goes like a lighthouse, and then it detects all stuff. They didn't have one of those because this is in 1912. 11:40 p.m. The lookout spotted an iceberg directly in the path of the Titanic. First Officer Mercer orders to hard to starboard left. Turn, but the Titanic's right still scrapes the side of the iceberg. Only 37 seconds pass between the sight of the iceberg and hitting it. And I know that there was no moonlight and no stars, so that wasn't helpful. So the moonlight wouldn't reflect onto the iceberg, and then they couldn't see it in time. But if this was in the day, they would have seen it from far away. And there was a ship called the RM California. The California was only like 10 minutes away. But the wireless operator was sleeping, and they saw the light, and they were like, "Come on, can you please just answer a call?" The Titanic people, the crew, the wireless operator. But then the Carpathia luckily answered and saved some lives. Like, how much was it? 705. That's still rubbish. That ship could have saved more because it was bigger than the Carpathia. Okay. Captain Smith orders his crew to prepare lifeboats and get the passengers and crew up on deck. And this is after midnight as well. 12:45 a.m. The first lifeboat is lowered into the freezing water. 2:18 a.m. The Titanic snaps in half. Because of the weight, it snapped in half. The Titanic sinks at 2:20 a.m. Yeah, 2:20 a.m. The Titanic sinks. 4:10 a.m. The Carpathia picks up the first of survivors. April 15th, 1912. 8:30 a.m. The Carpathia picks up survivors from the lifeboat. April 17th, 1912. The Mackie Bennett is the first of the several ships to travel to the Titanic sank area to search for bodies. April 18th, 1912. The Carpathia arrives in New York with 705 survivors. Wow. Okay, we're going to watch this video how the Titanic sank, and this is in Roblox form. This is in Roblox animation. I don't know why they're sending flares. Oh, because I saw the iceberg's hit now. And as you see, people are opening the doors if you look closely to get out. And then the bow sinks slowly. The lights flicker a bit. The lights flicker. See, the lights are flickering. Lifeboats are being launched. The flares are going up. The bow is under. Explosion. The funnels tap into and the Titanic breaks in half. And the stern goes under. Okay, and now fact time. The Titanic had no binoculars because David Blair had the key to the binoculars room and forgot to give the key to the captain when he was getting off. He got off because the captain wanted a more experienced crew lookout. That's why he replaced him with Frederick Fleet. Another fact. The Titanic took 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink. It sank in the Atlantic Ocean. Robert Ballard found it in 1985. The ship was 400 miles south of Newfoundland. That was the closest land of where it sank. It was like the closest bit of land they could have got to if the Titanic didn't go that fast. Hey, you broke my presentation! Thank you for breaking my slide with a stone. Thank you very much. Here's £1 million. I'm just joking again. Building on March 31st, 1909, it was built in Belfast. Holland and Wolff Shipyard employed approximately 14,000 men. Wow. To build the enormous ship. It took over 1 full year to frame the Titanic. Only 9 men died when making the ship. When building the ship, there was a boiler fire, and that made a weak spot, and that's where the iceberg hit. So it was very weak. So it wasn't that strong because it burnt most of it off. And they just left it because it said it's the unsinkable. It can't sink, and it sank. Now ships nowadays have learned their lesson. Well, not learned, they know what to do. They always add more lifeboats, and if they always put double protection than the Titanic. The ship was 269 meters, the same size as the Britannic and the Olympic, but not at the same height. I'll talk about the Britannic and the Olympic a bit later. The Titanic was 882 feet, 9 inches, and then that big number, long, with a maximum breadth of 92 feet and 6 inches, 28.19 meters. Thomas Andrews came up with the idea of making the Titanic and died when he was 39 on the Titanic. Thank you guys for making origami, especially using my slide. Thank you. I'm just joking again. The White Star Line is the company that made the Titanic. So the White Star Line was a company who made the Titanic. The Titanic had 2 sister ships called the Britannic and the Olympic. So the Britannic and the Olympic were Titanic sister ships. Also, the Olympic came to save the Titanic when it was sinking, but they were 500 miles away, so they turned around and carried on with their voyage. The last ship that the White Star Line made was the Nomadic. They shut down the company in 1934 because all of their ships were sinking and they were wasting like £1 million. All of their ships sank, and they made like nine ships. The company made 9 ships called the Titanic, Britannic, Olympic, Nomadic, Oceanic, Atlantic, Baltic, Republic, Celtic, and Andriatic. There might be a bit more. I don't know. I'm not sure. But 9 ships is what I know so far. Okay, you just chucked a piece of this in my face. Okay, thank you. There you go, thank you. Okay, I'm just joking again. Who saved the Titanic? The RMS Carpathia was a Carnage Line Transatlantic passenger steamship, was built by Swan Hunter and William Richardson in their shipyard in Wallsend, England. The Carpathia made her maiden voyage in 1903 from Liverpool to Boston and continued on this route before transfer to Mediterranean service in 1904. The length was 170 meters, so it was definitely tinier than the Titanic. Construction started on the 10th of September 1901. The launch was in August 1902. That was nearly a whole year. The place was built in Wallsend. Builder was Swan Hunter LELDT, and it had 7 decks, and the owner was Carnard Line. Oh, you just stuck this in my face again. Okay, why am I even joking? I'm just joking. The prices for tickets were, these are all the tickets prices. The first class parachute was £870, £870, $700, and in US dollars that is 4,350, and this is in today's money. Well, I don't think. Yeah, in today's money. Okay, the first class tickets range enormously priced, up to 150, about 107,000 today. 1,700 today. For the simple bus, up to 4,350. In US dollars, that is a big amount. 50,000. For one of the two parlor suites, second class tickets were 60 US dollars, around 700 US dollars, and third class passengers paid between 15 US dollars and 40 US dollars. And in English money, that is, no, that's not English, that's 40, in that 170, and in England dollars, that in dollars it's, no, in pounds, not dollars, in pounds it's 460. And that is the end of the Titanic presentation. Bye-bye. I got this one at random. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation. And I hope you learned some things too. And I hope you have a good day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on the bell. And yeah, hope you learned some things. Bye-bye. Woohoo. Bye-bye.